Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a fleet update, a general channel update, what cars are going, the plans I have for some other cars. So I got me a coffee and we're going to get at her. So let's start with this right here. This was actually my first truck. I owned this for a long time and I ended up selling it. Long story short, I bought it back. I had my bit of fun with it. It hasn't ran in 2 years. It currently don't run. It's getting ready to go for scrap. I do have a few things that I want to take off this first, so there will be a separate video on this truck. Only a small, short video, just kind of my time with it, what I done with it, and should be going for scrap. This thing is completely rotted out, as you can tell by the rocker panel hanging off. The floor is gone, everything else is gone. It's not worth fixing up. Trust me, if it had any potential at all, I'd be fixing it up. Up next is this Santa Fe XL. This thing was actually bought for a flip car. My wife's rig that we just got rid of there a few days ago shit the bed, so she's been driving this thing around. It's been a great rig, honestly. We probably got like 10 or 12,000 kilometers on it right now. I don't know if I'll flip it or not. We own it for a long time now. We've just been driving it. So what we got here next is the parts car Elantra. This used to be my daily driver. I used to actually drive this back and forth to work. The engine is ticking, the transmission is shot, the body is rotted out. I've been using it for parts. I've got pieces cut out of it everywhere, patching up rocker panels and whatnot. All the good parts are pretty much gone off of this car right now, so this will soon be going to the scrapyard. Alright, so next is this 1953 Mercury pickup truck that you've all been seeing in the background of my videos. You see me push this thing around everywhere. I roll it, it doesn't run, it has no engine in it. I have an LS to go in it. This is one that I want to start soon. I said I want this thing drivable before Christmas. I want to put this in the Christmas parade. There'll pretty much be no body work being done to it, just a cammed LS. I mean, maybe straight piped, who knows. I'm just going to make like a rowdy rat rod out of this thing, and that's probably as far as I'm going to go with it. So I do want to start this one soon. The black truck, I almost got buttoned up. Well, for now, there'll be some big work getting done to that one too. So next is this old green Cummins. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I bought this not running. I put an injection pump in it, actually bought a whole spare drivetrain. I took the injection pump off of the spare engine, I put it on this truck. It runs great. I did develop some issues afterwards though. It's developed a slight misfire only at idle. When you're on the gas, you're into power, runs perfect. As soon as you come to an idle, it's got a misfire. And then sometime over the winter, it busts a power steering line. I think this truck is going to be on the chopping block. I'll be selling this truck, I'll be selling the spare engine and the spare transmission all together as a package. But don't worry, because I do plan on having another diesel. It just won't be this second gen. It'll be a different second gen. It needs box sides, it needs cab corners and rockers. The floor is solid, the chassis is solid, but I have a much better shaped truck to start off a build with. So while we're still on the truck topic, you've seen this old girl right here in a few videos now. And as we're getting rid of one diesel, I would love to get another diesel. And as you know, this thing has a 360 V8 gas engine in it. I mean, it doesn't have any power. Seriously. It's very, very underpowered. It's got these big old tires on it, so that makes it worse. Body-wise and chassis-wise, this truck is in very good shape. This truck actually came from Western Canada, I believe British Columbia at some point in time. And then it came here to Newfoundland. So the rockers are good, the body is good, the chassis is good. As a Newfoundland truck, this thing is mint. So what I'd like to do is find a good 12 valve second gen, probably something with the body rotted out or the chassis gone, and pretty much just swap the entire drivetrain over to this truck. So it'll pretty much just be a rowdy half-ton diesel. And now we're to this BMW. My wife's been driving that Santa Fe XL, and I don't blame her. She's driven a Santa Fe now for 2 or 3 years. You know, good rigs, but they're boring. So she wanted something a bit more fun, so we went out, we bought this for her. It's a 6-speed standard all-wheel drive, just a straight 6 3-liter engine. Pretty bulletproof car overall. It does need a little bit of work though. So the funny thing is that we bought this thing inspected and ready for the road. Turns out that when I got it home, We started having a few issues with it. I put it on my own ramp. I looked at it, and it should not have been inspected. I just loved it for me. Now, I don't blame the seller for this thing, because I don't think that guy had any idea or clue about cars at all. I blame the garage who done the inspection, and that garage actually done about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of repairs to this car to get it to pass inspection. So I think he kind of got took for a ride. They just done a pile of work on this thing. It still needs a pile of work, and it should not have passed inspection. Anyways, there will be a separate video on this car. We'll have to do some work to it. Obvious BMW stuff, oil leaks. Anyways, at least now we don't have to use our turn signals, so that's great. And now what you're looking at here is the next flip car. It does make a little ticky 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 noise, but if you do follow me at all, you know that I picked up an engine a few weeks back, and that engine is for this car. I got this car for a really good price. It's a 2015, very low kilometers. I do plan on starting this sometime next week, so keep an eye out for that video. So I do have a couple more smaller projects. One I have a part ordered for, but I have had no time to put it on yet. The other one I bought, I put a tarp over it, and I never even looked at it since. They're only small projects, but I'll give you a little update on those now. So here's the first one. This is a little 2014, I think, Polaris RZR 170. I bought this for the young fella. I bought it not running, because that's how I roll. It needed a starter, I'm told. So I got a starter bought. I don't have it put on. I'm going to have to pick up a battery too, but I need to get the starter on there, and I can probably boost it enough to start it. Once I know it starts, I'd like to do some other upgrades to it, obviously. It needs new wheels or tires, but I'd like to get a nice set of wheels put on this, maybe a little bit bigger, and he can rock around in this all summer long. So what you're looking at here is a 1996 or 1997, can't remember. It's a Skidoo, what is it? It's a Touring SLE. We got this for a really good deal. I'm not going to tell you yet because there will be a video about this, and I could not turn it down. It does need a few little things. It needs a tail light, but the Skidoo itself is in mint shape, like borderline showroom condition. Just like that. This thing has been sitting here for a month and a half, for sure, probably 2 months. Flick the key and go. Also, I got to keep it up here behind the shade with a tarp over it, because I'm trying to hide it away from the wife. She says no more projects. And the garage, as you can see, is pretty well done. Inside, pretty well done. I do need to put a loft on that back wall. All the siding is done on 3 sides. We do have a little bit left to do though. Yeah, so pretty much on this back wall right here, probably out 4 feet straight across, there's going to be a loft. And I do need to get that done because I want to paint my walls and paint the loft and do all that one time. So as you can see right here, this is the back side. Up there in the peak, still needs to be done. Siding needs to be done. I got another light to go up there in the peak. We got to do our soffit and put metal on the eaves. Not too bad of a job. Can probably get done in a day. Just got to get at it. Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's a Bluetooth scanner. So this is a TopScan Bluetooth scanner. It's made by a company TopScan. They sent me the scanner for a little review, and today we're going to test it out. So let's go use this old RAM for demonstration. As you know, I did a pile of work to this. It still does have a pretty bad misfire, not really running right. So it's a good opportunity to try out this new little scan tool. So we got our little dongle plugged in down there, as you've seen. Let's just start up the engine now. So you click on your app on your phone. You simply click diagnostics. You come down here, press read. The scanner will read the VIN for you. after a few short seconds. So while we're loading up our VIN here, I'll tell you a little bit about this scan tool. This is a great option if you're like me. You always got cars coming and going. You're always going to look at cars, either auctions or private sellers. You don't always want to be carrying around a big old handheld scanner. This is a great option. All you got to carry is your phone and that little dongle. You can simply just put that in your pocket. You can plug it into whatever car you're going to look at before you buy it. You can read all the codes. You can do some simple diagnostics before you make the decision to buy it. We got our VIN loaded up here now, so we're going to go confirm. And we can see here it's a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500. Perfect. Now we're just going to go to auto scan. We do have some sort of issue with this truck not really running right, so we're going to go ahead and click on the powertrain control module. This little scan tool also offers a full system diagnostic report for over 60 brands of vehicles. It's got 8 reset services. You can read live data, check your codes. So we're going to go ahead and read our codes right now. And you can see here we've got a couple oxygen sensor codes, and this one down here, P0121, the throttle position sensor voltage does not agree with MAP. So if I'm going to go ahead and guess, it's this code right here, the throttle position sensor, that is contributing to our rough running engine. And if you want to do any further diagnostics, you simply click on the magnifying glass right here, and it brings you right to Google. Because let's get real. If you get a code out of a car, the first thing you're going to do is go to Google. You read this little paragraph here, it tells you a bit about the code. This can lead to various issues, including engine stalling and hard acceleration, which I'm having. If I just rev this truck up, or if I go out there and floor it, when I let off on the gas, it will immediately stall out. So I guess we're going to have to get a throttle position sensor for this truck. You can go to your data stream, live data. This little scanner is useful, as you can see, and it's also priced very, very well at right around $100. You can see here, this is all of our live data. Engine coolant temperature, it's stated here in degrees and voltage, which is very good. Engine speed right here, 583 RPMs. Rev her up, 1486. Our fuel level percentage at 44%. Not driving right now, but if we were, you could read your output shaft speed. So let's go back again, and let's just try out some active tests here. You can activate each fuel injector. If you hear them clicking, they're probably working. You can see here, you can change the RPMs in this truck, so you can actually set your RPM. So I believe right now we're just at about 600 RPMs. So let's change that to 1500 RPMs. Confirm. Start. This is my foot. I'm not touching the gas. This is all the scan tool. We simply press stop, and we're back to normal. A lot of good stuff here. There's options here for an oil life reset, your battery management system reset. You've got ABS bleeding, which is nice. On diesels, newer diesels, DPF regeneration, great. And we got an airbag reset. These are all functions that you would normally not see on a $100 scanner, but it's on this one. So if you want a scanner that is very user-friendly, it's small, it's compact, you can bring it with you to go look at any kind of car, check out TopScan. Link is in the description. So stay tuned. I do have lots and lots of content planned in my head. Just got to get at it. I'm currently up past 12 grand in profits on the flips. So after this Elantra flip, there will be some more expensive flips, maybe a truck. I'd love to pick up a truck to flip, but trucks are more expensive. I do have some other stuff in the works that will help me out big time on the flips. Wink, wink. There will be another video about that coming up as well. Please like and subscribe. So the wife is there cleaning up the pool. I'm just spreading a bit of dirt, and Buddy's just out for a snack. Yes, boy, trim back the trees for me. Who's you, Buddy? I've never seen you around before. What's your father's name? Who knit you? Buddy, you're just what I need. I was looking for an extra hand out in the garage.
Well, fuck if he goes in the garage, DJ.
Oh my god. He's not looking for work. He's on the eye.